So let's extend that conversation a little bit. What is the legality of destroying the competition? Not by offering a better product, not by earning more customers, but by simply yanking the plug and destroying a business model that's viable and workable, but you don't like them. So you unplug them and then they die. As Devin Nunes said, maybe $1 billion company Parler was. Today, it's now worth 50 cents. And if they don't get back on their feet soon, it will never be back again. Joining me here to talk more about it, Peter Flaherty, chairman of the National Legal and Policy Center. Sir, thank you for taking the time.
You bet.
So what are the legal principles at play here? I mean, I hear people talk about, well, it's a private company. They can allow people to speak or not speak on their platform. Okay, we can debate that. But it's the destruction of Parler that I want to focus on for a moment, because by its very behavior, these companies, Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Twitter, have all colluded together to destroy the competition. That, by definition, to me, is a monopoly. Your thoughts?
Well, the only reason to be able to do that is because in each of these markets, we're down to just 2 or 3 big companies. The free market argument over the years has been these are private companies, and if they do not satisfy the consumers, the people that use them, new actors will emerge in the marketplace and competition will benefit all. But it hasn't happened that way, has it? Let's remember that the internet was not invented by Silicon Valley billionaires. The internet was a government program. It was built by taxpayers and invented by researchers who were paid by taxpayers. The big internet companies, through Section 230, which shields them from liability, which does not shield other entities like newspapers and TV networks from liability, is a huge subsidy to them. So the normal free market rules we point to don't apply in this case. I've been talking about this for years and years. I've appeared at the annual meetings.
There is no free market.
Amazon and so forth, and I've attempted to warn them that unless they serve a diverse customer base, the ire of the country is sometime going to focus on them. And here we are. I mean, Trump may be history, but this issue is not going to go away.
Well, at some point, 75 million Americans have voted for the president, and others, of course. They are going to be heard, whether it's on Parler Resurrected or on some other platform. There's just no question about it. As my esteemed co-anchor tutor pointed out here earlier, people don't have home phones anymore. They don't have a directory to find my cell phone. The way parents communicate to get the soccer game updates and the school updates is on Facebook. People communicate with each other on Facebook and Twitter. This is the way the world connects now, not by home phones or cell phones even, because there's no way to connect with people effectively that way. So by definition, haven't these social media companies become utilities and therefore subject to the same sort of approach that Ma Bell got back in the 1970s?
Well, antitrust is aimed at economic monopolies, not the suppression of free speech. So I'm not sure that antitrust is a solution here. I think we need more far-reaching solutions. Look at what's happened here. You can have your Twitter account closed, even if you're president of the United States. If you have a competing service, Amazon can deny you use of the cloud where your service resided. And if you have some sort of outlet that accepts contributions or payments, you can be shut off by yet another company. So they control it all. It crosses
so let me change the question, sir. Let me change the question, sir. Let me take it to this then. When the Constitution was written and the First Amendment was written, we didn't have these things, of course. And the government was the threat to free speech. But it's not the government threatening the communication and free speech of people anymore. It is these big tech companies working on behalf of one political party over another. Should the First Amendment be expanded to say, listen, you can't squelch the common conversations between people, because the First Amendment's not here to protect happy speech. It's here to protect me and you from saying things that are uncomfortable to others. That's the point of the First Amendment. How do we make sure that it is guarded?
What the internet has allowed is for benefits to these companies from what's called a network effect. And it provides an opportunity for them to forfeit short-term profits in favor of market domination. The best example of that is Amazon. All of us, most of us at least, can't live without Amazon. Why is that? It's because their ever-expanding share price gave them a boundless supply of capital, and they put their competitors out of business, sometimes stole the ideas of their competitors, and it's a company that until recently never made a nickel. What they were attempting to do was dominate the market so that they could become a monopoly. Now, how does this apply to free speech? Well, Amazon last year started removing Christian and Catholic books from Amazon in response to demands by gay rights activists. During the rioting last summer, in the wake of that, they started, you may have noticed if you have an Amazon account and like to read, that they suddenly started suggesting to you a bunch of books that propagate critical race theory, and there was absolutely no balance.
Right,
no
a lot of things that maybe we don't agree with. I'm sorry, we're going to have to leave it there for today, Peter. Peter Flaherty is the chairman of the National Legal and Policy Center. This conversation, though, Peter, it's going to go on for the next several weeks. We appreciate your voice, and we'll certainly have you back on this.